So you're looking at moving to Utah, or perhaps you've already lived here and landed, and you just haven't found the right home for you. Regardless, if you're not a Utah native, it can feel incredibly scary to move to a new place, especially when you're moving from one state to another and one where you've just got no experience living there. And you're probably asking yourself questions. Am I going to fit in? Am I going to find my people there? Am I going to find new friends, make new friends, and find all of the opportunity there that I'm hoping that I will? Now, those are certainly questions that so many people ask themselves, but I also get down to the root of what people are really discovering are the root concerns that they have when making the move to Utah. And some of those are centered around the uncertainty, the unease, the anxiety that comes with just moving in general. As we all know, moving is not really that much fun, but it's also a really stress-inducing event that takes place in people's lives. It's at the top of the list. And so if you are moving to Utah and you're feeling this uncertainty and this anxiety around the move, this video is precisely for you. And surrounding this big of a move, a lot of concerns can pop up. Sometimes those are internal concerns, sometimes they're external factors that are affecting you, and sometimes it's just a misunderstanding or something where there's some sort of lack of understanding about this new place that you're going to soon call home. Now, regardless of what your concerns are, if they're internal or external, regardless of what you're feeling in terms of anxiety, I've gained a deep understanding as to what people experience when moving to a new place, especially to a place like Utah. And I've also learned through speaking to and helping and serving countless people that are making the move to Utah that the fears and uncertainties around moving to Utah can be easily overcome. And hopefully my experience in helping countless people just like you will really help serve you and make sure that you can make a smooth move here as well. And I've developed a system to help you with just that. So my system of serving clients that are relocating to Utah for whatever reason is time tested and true, and it absolutely works. And so in this video, I'm going to lay out that exact plan as to how we serve people just like you moving to Utah. Okay, so let's get started. Step number one is do all of the research that you want to do. You can do that here on my YouTube channel, or there's plenty of other resources and channels as well. Regardless of where you're getting your information from, just make sure that you're getting the big picture. You don't need just the rosy salesperson selling you on everything that there is that's great about Utah. You actually need to understand the cons as well, and everything has its upside and downside as well. So I want to make sure that people are very well informed. So step number one is really educate yourself and inform yourself as to whether or not this is actually the place for you. And furthermore, to make sure that the area specifically where you're looking to move to is a good fit for you. Now, from personal experience, I've seen so many people reach out to us at different stages in relocation, whether they are looking to move within a couple of months or a couple of years. It just depends on what's right with you. I believe truly that if you reach out a few months in advance, or perhaps even 6 months or more, it's a really good time to dial ourselves in with how you can actually make that move as smooth as possible. But if you're looking to move within a month or two, we can accomplish that as well. But if we have a little bit more time, we can certainly serve you in a better way to make sure that you're dialed in with the area where you're looking to move. And eventually, after you've done enough research, you're eventually going to want to reach out to somebody that can really guide you. Now, hopefully that's us. Hopefully I've done enough to earn that call. But regardless, if you're looking for more information and you're looking for that guide, the best next step after that would be to reach out to us. Now, if we haven't met yet, my name is Steele, and I'm a real estate broker here in Utah. I specialize in and help people making the move to Utah each and every day, and it's all we do here. So if you're looking at making that move yourself, you can always find my contact information down in the description below. And of course, I'm asking you to reach out because that is the best way that we can serve you and keep you going down this plan and this system that we've developed to make sure that we help people make that move as smooth as possible. Okay, moving on, step number 3. Once you reach out to us, one of my best ways of connecting with people that are reaching out to us is to do a video call. When we get to do a video call, we actually get to know each other one-on-one, but I also get to share the screen with you and make sure that we're talking about the different areas, and more importantly, answer your specific questions around certain areas that can really dial you into finding the perfect home for you. But the goal is always, when you reach out to us, to make sure that we're customizing a plan specific to you and your needs. We want to make sure we have a customized plan for each and every client to make sure that you you feel like you're getting all of the answers to your very specific questions. And so when you reach out to us, we're going to ask questions like, what are your timelines to move? What are the most important things to you with respect to lifestyle or other amenities or points of interest that are really important to you? What's your commute going to look like? Are you working from home or are you working at a job that you're going to have to commute to? Regardless, we want to make sure that we customize this plan and make sure that we know all of the ins and outs as to what your lifestyle is going to look like here and how we can best set you up for success in finding the right home for you. And this is the part in every conversation that I have with people. Let's pump the brakes just for a moment and not really dial in our search just yet to find the perfect home. Let's move on to step number 3 in our system, and that is to first find the right community for you. So whether you want to live in the suburbs or a more urban setting, or maybe you want to live outside of the metropolitan area, regardless of what you're looking for, we want to dial that in first. And along with the other information as to what your lifestyle is going to look like, how does your work and your family and everything else come into play, to dial in the specific areas that you should most consider for you specifically. And I always say this to each and every person that reaches out to me. I think it's really important to first locate the right city, the right community, the right neighborhood for you before you really start diving into and looking at houses. So let's narrow in step number 3 and just say, we've got to find the right landing spot for you. We've got to find the right neighborhood, the right community, where you're going to feel like you fit in from day one, because that is totally achievable. And so many people make the mistake when they move to a new state, including here to Utah, in plugging into the wrong spot for them. And for whatever reason, it's just not the right spot for you. We want to avoid that as much as possible. We want to make sure that you're plugged in with the community that you can truly feel and call home, and not just a place to live. All right, the next step in the process in making sure that we can guide you in making that move here to Utah is to get you set up on a home search. So now that we've got you dialed in with a specific community and a city, we want to make sure that we're looking at the properties that best fit your needs. And this is where we can customize our searches to make sure that we're feeding you the homes, to make sure that you're not going to miss out on any opportunities, regardless of what it is you're looking for. We want to make sure that each and every client understands that they're not going to miss out on something. We're going to make sure that we get each and every property in front of you, and that you get to soak that in and find out which properties you'd like to check out. And oftentimes we get clients who choose to come and pay a visit here to Utah first. And by the way, I would highly recommend that if you are looking at making the move here and you haven't actually made an intentional visit here specifically for the reason of dialing in where you want to live, I would highly recommend doing that prior to moving if it's at all possible. And other people that come and visit once, they dial in a specific area, and then we do a home search and we start showing you homes as they pop up on the market, whether that be in person or virtually. We do a lot of video tours for clients in homes that fit their search criteria after they visited us here in Utah, and then they can really see the homes and make sure that they buy a home that's right for them. Now, a lot of people choose to come back and fly back into town when we find that perfect home to make sure they can walk through the home themselves, but we also have some people who choose to purchase a home sight unseen. Regardless, if that's the case, we're going to make sure that we set up the deadlines in such a way that you're actually going to be able to come out and check out the property prior to being fully committed in purchasing that property. I believe that that's something that's really challenging for most people to do, and most people choose to fly back into town and to make sure that that property is the right fit, and then they proceed in making an offer on that property. And honestly, I believe that it's this phase in the process that can be the most exciting, because I believe that buying a home should be fun. I think it's really fun and exciting, especially when you're moving to a new place. It can be exceptionally exciting, especially if you have a family, because it's like an adventure. I think it's really cool to participate in that with clients and making sure that they're finding the right homes for them. And I truly feel blessed that I get to help participate in that, because finding that next home is super important. And it's so much more than just buying a house. It's, of course, finding and making a new home. And that's so important, especially if you've got a family. Okay, so after all of this, you've educated yourself, you've informed yourself on as much information here on my channel as possible, to the point where you finally reach out to us, and then you come and visit and you find the right community, the right neighborhood for you, and we find that perfect home and we make an offer on that property. And now you're actually looking to make that move here. Well, we've got your back. We make sure that we cover all the bases with respect to utilities or coordinating anything else in terms of moving, or all of the complexities or intricacies that come along with relocating, especially to a new state. Regardless, my team and I have your back when making the move to Utah. And if you were to see people's faces when they finally get to land in their new home and they actually close close on that new property here after going through this entire system, it's really rewarding as a real estate broker. I get to see and feel that each and every day, and I find it incredibly exciting. But on the flip side, what if you don't go through this process? What are the mistakes that most people make when they make the move to Utah and they're not actually doing the system in the way that we've planned it out? What I've noticed is most people do things correctly. They just oftentimes do things in the incorrect order. And so if you're looking to make the move to Utah, I would love to be that real estate resource for you to make sure that we can plug you into our system and make sure that you feel completely taken care of from step 1 to step 5 and make sure that you have a successful and smooth move here to Utah as well. So reach out to me. You can find my contact information in the description below. You can also book a video call with my team and I right there in the pinned comment on this and every video. Now, what happens when you don't do the right things or you don't do things in the right order? In other words, what's at stake? And I believe that it's my goal and my mission to make sure that I can help you avoid the pain that I see so many other people go through when making the move and relocating to a new state. I see people do it wrong all the time. I see people find themselves in the wrong situation at the wrong time with the wrong person, with the wrong guidance. And I truly believe that we've built the best system to help people relocate to Utah in the entire state. And while making these mistakes that people make when they make the move here could be very costly, in fact, they can cost you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars just in the real estate alone. But there's so much more at stake. And that's not just about buying the house. It's all of the other services that you're going to need in making that move here. So in being your boots on the ground here, so to speak, we've got you covered when making that move so that these things are all taken care of to make sure that you're not losing money on the things that you shouldn't be. But I believe that the biggest thing that people lose is their time. The cost of losing your time in doing so much more than you should have to and so much more research than you truly need to, I think that's the biggest expense. It's the opportunity cost of what you could better be using that time for to make sure that you have an enjoyable process in making the move here. That's our job, that's our mission, to make sure that you can avoid the mistakes that so many others have made that we get to see each and every day. We've had many people reach out to us after they've already made the move here and it was not a good experience, and that honestly breaks my heart. I want people to not only enjoy living here, I want them to enjoy the process of moving here. Okay, so after you've gone through my entire system for relocating to Utah, you finally made the move here. You found the perfect home and the perfect neighborhood for you. And to me, that's the meaning of a successful transition. It provides you with the peace of mind knowing that you didn't miss out on anything and that you made sure to cover your bases so that you actually ended up in the right spot. And to me, the benchmark of a successful transition to the state of Utah and moving here is making sure that you land in a place that you can not only call home, but you truly feel at home, not only in the house, but with the neighbors and the community and the support that you have with other professionals that are here that also have your back that you can trust. That's my mission here. That's my goal. And I've built a system so that you can make the best possible smooth transition to the state of Utah. And my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. If we've earned your phone call, please reach out to us. You can find my information down below, or better yet, you can book that video call with us to make sure that we can serve you at the highest level. And if this video content is of any help to you, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people just like you that are going through the same experiences that you are in making the move to Utah. And if you want to know more about life in Utah, check out this playlist next. And until the next video, thanks.